Hi, it's Kim from Expressions of the Universe on this glorious September day. And this is your September 2024 stars and cards. And we're having a new moon today. Going to pull some cards for all zodiac signs. Hopefully, I'll have time to timestamp the video. I'm going to do the cards first because the astrology this month is pretty extensive. So I'll save that for last. And welcome back. Or hello, welcome. Um, get started. Today, I have a lot for you. We have a lot going on. um, in the stars. And I want to share my screen. Let me just get this all set and ready. I was hoping to be able to get this done and out before the beginning of September, but better late than never, as I always say. So here we have our September stars and cards. This is just my little disclaimer, as some of you know. It's for all of our, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. It's for all of our protection. Um, as with anything, always consult a medical professional. This particular month, with us being in Virgo season, currently it is all about our health, body, mind, and spirit, physical, mental, spiritual health. So I will be talking a lot about that. However, it's spelled out here in the disclaimer, always consult a licensed professional. These are just um, tips that you could incorporate with traditional medicine. Let's do the stars and cards before I get into, let's do the cards before I get into the stars, since this is so extensive. Going to come off of the share that we have a full screen experience. So my crystal of the month is going to be black tourmaline. The reason why I chose this, and I did intentionally choose it, is because black tourmaline keeps coming up. It's been coming up over the last few weeks in various different ways. People asking me about black tourmaline, me running in to black tourmaline. And so it just feels it just felt apropos, since it keeps popping up, that I should pay attention, right? So black tourmaline is extremely protective, deflective, absorbs negative energy, EMF. Here is one of my pieces. Now, this used to be completely black, but over the years it has oxidized. I wonder if that is the absorption of EMF, because I do keep this near one of my televisions, near my front door in my living room. And yes, my TV is near my front door because I have a very tiny house. So there isn't a whole lot of space between this and that. Here's a little pocket sized piece that I like to carry. I used to have a black tourmaline ring and a necklace, but they are kind of fragile sometimes and they will break off and crumble. So I kind of don't recommend the jewelry because I haven't particularly had a good experience. And then I wind up loving that jewelry and I lose pieces of it and then I can't wear it. So, just a pocket piece. I do recommend raw versus polish. Um, get that up in there for you. So that will be my stone of the month. The astrology, the stars, the planets are intensifying as the year closes out. So I think black tourmaline, maybe hematite, shungite, black obsidian, snowflake obsidian. Those are all really good protective choices. So I'm using two decks today. It's really windy out here. Hopefully they don't fly away. I have pre-shuffled for that purpose. This is a John Holland tarot deck that I'll be using, and a most recent favorite of mine, the Light Seers Tarot. I really love this deck. So I'll pull one card from each. Well, you know what? I could put the black tourmaline pieces on top of the decks while I am talking about each sign. So you want to pay attention to your sun sign, your rising sign, ascendant, and your moon sign, and maybe any placements where you may have a stellium cluster of planets. So we'll start with Aries. Aries, I picked up the intuition card, which is card number 2, and the 5 of Pentacles. So let's talk about the intuition card. This is about tapping in to your own innate power, whether it is in your gut, your third eye, dreams, signs that you're seeing. You want to utilize your intuition at this time. We are coming up into eclipse season, which does affect the Aries. So you want to be mindful and pay attention. You don't ever have to overthink anything. Your gut will tell you in every way, shape, and form whether something is a yes or a no. You can feel it in your gut, in your solar plexus, in that solar plexus chakra, or even in your heart chakra. You'll be able to feel it. We have some hawk action going on out here. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Now, this 5 of Pentacles is really interesting. So here you have this person, and they look like they are suffering, self-pity, withdrawn within themselves, feeling that they don't have any options. There is no way out. However, if you look, little keyhole, there's a key in the corner. But when we get so absorbed in our own martyrdom, self-pity, feeling sorry for ourselves, we don't happen to see or feel or sense the solutions around us. So it's really important to stay ever mindful, ever present, and of course, with the trend, ever demure, and try to not allow ourselves to stay too long in that self-pity, so that you can find the key and unlock where you are trapped to new possibilities. Use your intuition as well. It's interesting because there is a door shown here, and I feel like, that is also the key. Of course, my neighbor decided that he is going to mow his lawn. I don't know how that's going to affect this video. It will affect me. I have to get into my own. Now, my recording device here it should be blocking out external noises. So you may not even hear it, which will be good. I'm not going to re-record this. This is where I am. I'm sitting here with my tea, and I'm already prepared to do this. All right, Taurus, sun's rising. Let's see what we have for you. So we have patience and planning, which is such a Taurian symbol, patience and planning, and the Nine of Swords. So it seems like one positive card and one not so positive card comes up. That's that's okay. Um, I'm gonna do a reverse. I'm gonna start with this Nine of Swords card because that indicates sorrow, worry, sadness, grief, not being able to see your way out of a hole, out of a situation. Something may have ended, or something new cropped up that's bringing a lot of worry to the Taurus people. Now, if you look amongst these crows, there is a symbolic white spirit crow. And crows are very symbolic within themselves. They are magical. This is saying magic is around you, spirit is guiding you. Um, Going to reiterate what I said for the Aries, don't allow yourselves to stay stuck in this energy too long. Let me just count these crows. 1, 2, 7, 8. So the ninth crow is the spirit crow. I also want to point out, although the aspect isn't exact until September 7th, 8th, Sun and Moon are opposing Saturn, and that's creating blockages. It's also creating depression and sadness within us. So a lot of that could show up in the card reading. Now, with this, now I'm going to segue into this, the patience and planning. Don't worry about things before they happen. Start to get yourselves a plan in place, little nest egg, if you will, saving for a rainy day. The harvest is coming, so we do need to be preparing for the next season that we're coming into, the next 2 seasons. And with a little patience and planning, you should be able to turn this around. Ah, Gemini, Gemini. Let's see. Ah, okay, and I did shuffle these really well, but here we have the Eight of Swords. It's like the Nine of Swords, but to a little lesser degree, in a sense, along the same theme. And then we have deception and envy. So what I'm seeing with the deception and envy is this could be somebody that's around you. This could be you. Um, always be honest, always be truthful, always speak your truth. No need to envy anybody because you have to think about the blessings that you currently have. Be grateful for what you have. And if you are wanting something that somebody else has, try to figure out a way that you can attain that with your own hard work. But I feel like this could be somebody around you, Geminis, somebody bad talking you. And then I'm going to move it into this Eight of Swords because the Eight of Swords person is usually blindfolded in any Eight of Swords card, which means they can't see, they're not knowing what's happening around them. The swords are binding them to a situation. So I'm really picking up this could be work related mostly, because the binding is an obligation. Now, I guess some people could be in a relationship like that. Um, However, there's something happening around the Geminis, whether it's suns, risings, moons, even the stellium, something is happening around them that they can't quite see. They can't fathom what's happening. And I feel like that would have a lot to do with Neptune in a quincunx in Pisces to the sign of Gemini. Other people can see what is happening around you. So you may want to take the advice if somebody does point something out to you and says, hey, so and so is doing this, so and so is sabotaging you. You need to get out of this situation. Whatever that is, take the advice of the other because people looking in from the outside have a clearer perception of what is going on around you. That's what I'm picking up. That not the most pleasant, especially with me being Gemini and a Taurus rising. So far, batting 0 myself. Um, say Cancers. Geez. Okay, so Cancers, this looks a little bit better. And it's like a double double. So we have the card of balance, and it is an 11, but it's also temperance in a traditional paradigm, temperance. And then we have the justice card, which is also symbolic of balance because look at the scales. So my camera is flipped. So when I'm going this way, I'm actually coming from the other side, freaking me out. So what am I picking up with this? Well, first of all, the big thing in astrology with Cancers right now is that Capricorn, which has been retrograde since June 1st in Aquarius, just re-entered Capricorn for the very last time in all of our lifetimes, because it is a 248-year cycle. So we will never see this again. And it's huge, absolutely huge. Probably one of the biggest things is happening within the last 2 decades is Pluto preparing to leave Capricorn for eternity. But that is opposite of whatever you have in Cancer. So balance is definitely needed. There is an opposition. This balance card talks about everything in moderation. Mostly it's like about originally the temperance card spoke about imbibing in alcohol and spirits in moderation. But, we are in modern times with people that are trying to be workaholic, doing too much. This is saying you need to balance everything out in your life. Now, this justice card really kind of does symbolize that too. It talks about the light and shadow within all of us. This is for the Cancer reading. As the wind's blowing through the trees and I hear my wind chimes, my mind just went blank. I feel as though with the Cancers, you may be looking in the mirror and not liking what you see back. So this could be a really good time to, jot down some notes, make some mental notes about what it is that maybe you would like to change between now and the end of the year. You don't have to do these changes, but, what is it that you are unhappy with? I feel like Pluto in Capricorn, in that opposition, the opposite angle to whatever is in Cancer, is definitely going to transform whatever it is that you're not loving, and bring things into clearer balance. But everything in moderation. And I think that just goes for everybody in general, everything in moderation. And when you find a new hobby or you're reading a new book or you get a new friend, sometimes you just want to dive all in and then you can exhaust yourself and burn yourself out. That's why slow and steady wins the race. All right, Leos, the little lions. Let's see, we have these cards are, I don't know, we have the Three of Swords and then we have emotional loss. So what can I say about that for the lions? What's interesting is that as I was setting this up, I couldn't get the Led Zeppelin song out of my head. Living, loving. I don't want to mess up. I think I know what the lyrics are, but if they're not, I don't want anybody criticizing. But all I kept hearing was alimony, alimony, paying your bills. Dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it. And I feel like this Three of Swords has to do with this because when the Three of Swords comes up, it feels like a love triangle. It feels like somebody that was cheating got caught, or there's another person waiting in the wings. It's definitely heartbreak, and there are more than two people involved in the heartbreak. It's usually a third party, sometimes a fourth party. Um, Extremely painful. And but if that is not your situation, Leos, this is still the ultimate heartbreak. And now could mark a time where the healing can begin. Interesting that this emotional loss has come up, and you'll see an ammonite symbol in the background right here. That's about filtering grief, filtering anger, filtering pain, and allowing it to trickle through that filter until it's gone. With this being a new moon, especially in Virgo, it's super grounding. This is a really great time to start that process of renewal and of healing. Um, we can't walk around with this bleeding heart, is what I'm hearing. Like there comes a point in time where you have to move on, you have to move forward. And yes, it could take a very long time for it to filter down through all the chambers, and I can't quite get it right, which is fine because you can't put a timeline on grief and pain, but you don't have to walk around with a bleeding heart because the longer you do that, the longer your heart is going to be. Does that make sense? Virgos, for the little virgins, it is your season currently. All right, we have the sacral chakra Virgos and the Six of Cups. And I like that. These are both very happy, joyous cards. Sacral chakra sits right below our belly button. I'm not standing up to show you. But this is where our creativity, our sexual drive, sometimes security a little bit. It all comes from that place, that sacral chakra. So anyone who is creative, if you have been having creative blocks, you probably have a block in your sacral chakra. The quickest way to clear and blow out that sacral chakra is some really good sex, whether it's by yourself or with another person. That will energize that area and allow for that area to be free flowing again, therefore opening up creativity. There's also money tied to that because it does sit right above the sacral, the root chakra. Now the Six of Cups, This talks about sentimental memories, going back in your mind to your childhood. It could be finding your inner child, looking for someone who is loyal. This could be a partner, somebody coming in or a friend from your childhood, from the past that shows up, somebody that's already there that maybe you have been overlooking. Um, this is about longevity with somebody that you know, that you have known. Um, and I feel like there is a lot of loving emotion behind this. So I don't know if the Virgos, if many of you are looking for a new creative project, if you're looking for a new partner or just a companion or a friend, something new coming in under those energies, their new partner, new project, new doors opening. But it's definitely linked to somebody from the past, somebody that you know, or somebody that you have known for quite some time. All right, Libras, from the third week of September, it will be your season, the season of Venus. We have the Three of Cups, which is about celebration, and we have the Rest and Rejuvenate. So, Libra, with your scales of balance, this is saying party hardy, time to celebrate, but also allow yourself the time to rest and rejuvenate. Don't go all gangbusters and burn yourself out. Um, this is camaraderie, this is friendship. Good times are coming, good times to be had. September to be a really great celebratory month. But like I said, don't burn yourselves out. You have to rest, you have to rejuvenate and give your body time to recuperate. I'm also picking up with this image. It's really good to go within, spiritual food, good, healthy, nutritious food to counter good times and celebrations. I feel like for the Libras, not only will you be celebrating upcoming birthdays, but there are other celebrations that are happening around you. And so what I'm hearing now is don't sit in watching TV. Get yourselves dressed, showered, dressed, go out, have the celebrations. Can't be laying in bed all the time. Especially with winter will be coming within the next few months. So get out now and have a good time. I love this. Now, this card came up when I asked a couple months ago what the rest of the year would be like. And because energy on the planet is crazy, we all know that, right? And this is the card that came up. And it really kind of gave me a lot of hope that everything would be okay and that we would be celebrating towards the end of the year. Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. Ooh, we have the lovers. Look how passionate, sexy. Mm. So Scorpio, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Venus moves into Scorpio this month, which would definitely be fitting of this lovers card for you. And we have the solar plexus chakra. It's about doing things that really make you feel good, that empower you, that light up that solar plexus chakra. Um, so I don't know if possibly Scorpios will be meeting somebody new or just reigniting something that's already there and passionate. This could also be a partnership. So not always necessarily the lovers, um, per se, as far as traditional lovers, this could also be partnership in a way, or really good friendship with benefits. But the solar plexus chakra is about empowering oneself, coming into one's power, reclaiming our power so that we could shine our brightest and be our strongest. And I feel for the Scorpios, it means allowing yourselves to be vulnerable and allowing someone else to come in and uh, light up your solar plexus chakra. All right, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we have the Page of Pentacles, new business venture, new money, resource coming your way, and accelerated motion. So something is happening very fast. It is a gift from the universe coming through, and it will pay off cha-ching big time. So this could be money that you've been waiting for, or newfound funds that are coming through. This could be a raise, this could be a promotion, or a brand new job altogether. Um, getting this is also reminding me that for the Sagittarians, it will be really good to make sure that your finances are in balance and are in check and that you're not overspending. Um, yeah, that's what that. And then I'm also hearing with this accelerated motion, make a wish, wishing on a star. So whatever the Sagittarians have been waiting for, it will be coming by the end of the year. And I'm also hearing like with that Page of Pentacles, don't overspend for the holidays. Capricorns, this is a huge time for you Capricorns because you're going through one last whammy for the last time in your lifetime. So what do we have? Stand your ground. We have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is really lovely. Feel like there's a lot of fun to be had, joviality, celebration, going to the festival, playing with your friends. But then we have this counter with stand your ground. So I don't know if you have some sort of creative idea or something maybe happening at work and somebody's trying to steamroll over you. I just want Capricorns to know that there will be a lot of lessons for you between now and January. So Capricorns, Cancers, Aries, and Libras all apply to this card, but the lessons are going to be filtering out. Um, could be coming on like gangbusters, or maybe just reminders showing up. But I think like ultimately the overall theme is don't be so hard nosed. Allow yourself to have a good time and close out the year properly. Sometimes Capricorn don't allow themselves enough time to play. No, I think oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. I don't know. My screen went kind of funky for a minute. All right, we're wrapping this up. Only two more. We have Aquarius. Aquarius, you have the Knight of Wands, and I love this. It is fire supercharged. This is creativity. This is really coming into your own. There's some freedom and independence that is being shown here. You're actually stepping into, I feel like for the Aquarians, you're coming into this new level, and there is a sense of foreplay, freedom, dependence. If it's work related, I feel like, oh, you're finally comfortable in what you're doing, and now you're getting to that next level in life. This could be some Aquarians retiring, getting ready to retire, testing the waters, if you will. The Memories of Love card is coming up for the Aquarians. I don't know, um, picking up a couple different things with that. Pay attention to your dreams, loved ones coming, loved ones that have crossed over coming. This could be a loved one passing, attending memorial service of some sort, some kind, having to let something go. Memories of love. Yeah, I often, whenever I see this, I feel like there's grief involved somehow, some way. However, often if we do have a visitation from the other side while we're dreaming, or even in waking life, you see somebody out in public and they look like somebody that you loved that has crossed over. That's their way of saying, hey, I am still with you. So there is some sort of a connection there, or definitely could be the passing of somebody very close to you. But I would hold on to this because there is party, there is celebration, there is strength and freedom and independence, which everything that an Aquarian is. Last but not least, we have Pisces. Pisces. All right, so we have the Hierophant and base chakra. All right, so let's start with the base chakra. The base or root chakra, it is where we're sitting. It's our bum, it's our genital. Um, but that root chakra is all about safety, security, our money, our finances. This is saying it's time for you to get a firm foundation to start to, get a budget, stock away money, prepare for a rainy day, maybe cut back on expenses, cut back on dining out, cut back on frivolous things. Um, a new firm foundation is needed. Interestingly enough, in this Hierophant card, it looks as though this person sitting on their root chakra, quite enlightened and happy, knowing that they're ascending up to a higher light. This is about connecting with your crown chakra, that higher mind, that higher being. There's enlightenment here. And this could also mean a promotion or a raise that is coming your way. You finally have gotten to this place of comfortability where you'll be getting a boost to that base chakra. Climbing the stairs, if you will. Um, Definitely be using your intuition and tapping into that. Don't stay too stuck in this material. Who are better off in the ethereal world to be balanced with that. What I have as far as the cards go, and I'll be right back in 1 second. I just want to clear up my space and prepare for the stars. All right, let's do the astrology stars. right, so September in the stars. This is pretty huge month. Doesn't look like much, but it is. September 1st, Uranus went retrograde, and Pluto, already retrograde, enters Capricorn for the last time in our lifetime. Pluto will go direct October 11th and will re-enter Aquarius on November 19th. So there's that little blip of time where everybody will be affected by Capricorn energy. This is about the ending and transformation of old regimes, religion, banking, finance, government. So pay attention, which with Uranus retrograde and Pluto going back into Capricorn, Uranus is in Taurus, which is about money and land, things that we value. There will be upheaval. There will be a lot of things in the news that we're going to hear. It's just governmental disruptions, possibly religious disruptions, things crumbling down, things going away, things that seem stable, tried and true, they're on their way out because Aquarius is a brand new dawn. And so our lives are going to change exponentially in the next 20 years. And this is just the tip off. We will never see this time again in our lifetimes. And this harkens back to not only the American Revolution, when the colonists branched off this rule, but also French Revolution. This is, and usually governments and establishments crumble after their first Pluto return, which the United States is in right now. With this being an election year, it is a presidential election year. Could be huge shakeups. There could be huge disruptions. There could be war ensuing. Kind of really don't see that until maybe the spring of 25 into 26, but I'm going to save that for a different video. As far as us personally, this is a time for us to really look at our foundations, our finances, please, and maybe have a change of mind, a change of thought. Things going to be dealt some lessons, maybe some hard lessons, or it could just be reminders that we of what has happened over the last 4 years. This energy does harken back to COVID. I will point that out. I'm going to mention it in my notes as I go through these things. Moving on, September 2nd, new moon in Virgo at 11 degrees, 4 minutes, coming in exact at 9:55 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, this is a pretty big one, September with Mars entering Cancer. So Mars entering Cancer, Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer. Mars is a hot, passionate, flaming planet. Cancer is very passive and wet. And so it's also emotional. Mars is emotional, but like on another scale. When I see in people's charts Mars and Cancer, I know that they are indecisive or they change their minds a lot. Cancer rules the moon. So as the moon changes signs every 2 to 2.5 days, that person with Mars and Cancer, they're changing their mind every 2.5 days. Also, too, I want to point out, and I've said this before, is that when I see men with Mars and Cancer, I steer clear of them because it's an indicator of abusive people that can't control their emotions. Um, Females tend to be overly emotional, but not on that volatile side. Um, More about that in a moment. September, September 7th, Sun in Virgo will oppose the moon in Pisces. And I'm sorry, you know what? I need to change that. Um, Saturn is also there. That's where the big energy is, because we have Saturn, Neptune in Pisces. So the sun will be opposing that. And I'm sorry for the typo. I forgot to include Saturn. That's huge because we're in that now with the new moon in Virgo. You have the sun and moon opposing Saturn. There could be sadness, there could be depression. Um, a lot of those cards that I pulled where we saw the heartbreak and the martyr and the pity party, a lot of that is being expressed right now, and that will carry over for like the next week or two. So if you are feeling alone and isolated and feeling really sad, definitely reach out to somebody, get some help for that. This could be a difficult time. The blockages, as far as like out in our outer world, being blocked from something happening, being stopped, there's an obstacle in the way. But with us being in Virgo season, this is also physical blockages in the body, typically digestive. I'll get into that as I blow through the notes a little bit. Um, because I do have a lot of notes. There are a lot of health indications this month. So when um when the moon is in an earth sign, that would be Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. My medical astrology professor, he likes to call it a vomit moon. And I asked her about this last week. It's Judith Hill. And I said, "What is a vomit moon?" And she said, you don't want to be taking any oral medications this time, unless, of course, you must. We could have a tendency to vomit more often during an earth-based moon. It's also a really good time to eat very lightly so that we prevent those blockages. Laxatives don't seem to work during this time. So you will have to increase your water, maybe magnesium, but always check with your medical professional. September 8th, Mercury enters Virgo. So we just came out of Mercury retrograde. Now it will be re-entering Virgo and all full steam ahead. September 22nd, the sun will enter Libra and Venus will enter Scorpio. So it's going to be a hot, steamy season for the Scorpio coming up. And then on the 26th, Mercury will enter Libra. And I'm going to stop sharing for just a minute so that I can read through some of these notes quickly. And I hope I understand my notes because it's all tick and scratch. Anyway, September 2nd with this new moon in Virgo, Mars is in Gemini. It's squaring Neptune in Pisces, both at 29 degrees, that anoretic degree. This is indicative of poisoning, food poisoning, drug poisoning, drink, alcohol poisoning, bacterial, virus, bronchioles, co-fungus, slipping and falling, no alcohol with swimming, hot tubs, swimming pools, the ocean. So there's an indication of stingrays, jellyfish, also spirit and ghost encounters during this new moon. Um, I know this might sound crazy, and how crazy is it? I don't know if you've seen the news, but My favorite deli cheese and meat, Boar's Head, they currently just had a big shutdown of their plant, which I'm absolutely disgusted by. 9 people have died, 57 people hospitalized because the facilities were so filthy that it contaminated their products. That is that Mars and Gemini at 29, square Neptune at 29, um, for sure. Now, what's interesting with this too, with Capricorn re-entering, with Pluto re-entering Capricorn retrograde, the bronchials come up. And so here we are back looking at the similar aspects of COVID. So be really super careful. I'll be susceptible to that. Keep charcoal, ingestible charcoal or apple cider vinegar on hand. If you feel like you have eaten something bad before it leaves your stomach tract, either take the charcoal or start drinking some apple cider vinegar. It'll kill food poisoning before it hits your intestinal tract. Right, September 4th. Um, let's see, stomach issues. So marshmallow tea is really good for that. It's very acidic. We could have some acid reflux with that. Mars and Cancer. So going back to that Mars and Cancer, when I was talking about how volatile it would be, especially emotionally, with the changing of the moon every 2 to 2.5 days. Mars in Cancer often shows a high rate of miscarriage. This would not be a time to try to conceive. I'm not saying it's 100% all of the time, but as a fertility astrologer, I would never recommend um, trying to conceive with Mars in Cancer. So let me just see, how long will that be? How long will that be in there? Um, Mars will move and enter into Leo November 3rd at 11:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:10 p.m. Pacific Time. So this is really not a good time for a viable pregnancy. Mars in Cancer also affects the spleen, the pancreas, the gallbladder, sore nipples, or baby that's breastfeeding, rejection of the nipples. Um, this Mars in Cancer is also making aspects to Saturn and Pisces. You've got two malefics. You've got Mars, which is a malefic, Saturn, which is a malefic. This could increase water toxicity, poison water. So be careful, like, about drinking out of streams. Make sure you have water purifier, even for your homes. Have a water purifier. I will only wash with the tap water. I haven't been without a filter in years. So this Mars in Cancer with Saturn in Pisces is also an indicator of lymphatic toxicity. So we want to make sure that we keep our lymphatic systems, like do lymphatic massage, drinking plenty of water. Herbs that are really great for this are fenugreek, dandelion root, red root, poke root. And you're going to see in one of my next slides, my tea for this time, and actually for always, is calendula. It's an antibacterial, it's an antifungal, it is an anti-inflammatory. Calendula tea is so good for so many things, and it's easily accessible. And also, like dandelion root, I have tea for that. As much as, if you know me, I love my coffee, right? But as much as I love my coffee, I love my tea even more. This is green tea with, I think, cranberries. It's energizing tea, but it's also immune boosting tea. You can get teas with probiotic. It's the easiest way to get things that will make your body well, especially because we're coming into cold and flu season with these indicators of COVID. You want to, make sure that you are drinking teas that have antiviral, anti-inflammatory, and antibacterial properties. Okay. September 3rd through the 6th, we have indication of kidneys, ovarian. Venus is on the south node. This is not time for cosmetics, no haircuts, no cosmetic surgery, because it will get botched up. Um, be on the lookout for kidney stones. There is also an increase in electrical disturbances for some people, the heart and the back and the thyroid during this time. So that sun in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces, it's a great time for fasting because of the blockages. Eat light, um, blockages in stomach and intestine, constipation, feeling blocked mentally, or there could even be physical blocks, people blocking you, roadblocks. Be on the lookout for those things. September 8th, Mercury enters Virgo, and there is a yod, which is also like Thor's hammer, and it is between Mercury and Pluto and Neptune. It's odd, it's confusing. People could slip discs in their lower back. Um, Epiphanies come out of this type of yod, as do midwives, or we could be hearing something in midwives being very prevalent, but it's a good time for their practice. September 10th, there is a mental health alert. It's nervous energy. We have the moon squaring. I think I wrote Saturn, I think. Nerves, insomniatic responses, bipolar, anxiety is very heightened. It's a good time for us to exercise and burn off any kind of mental energy that's going on. Avoid excited mental stimulation. You really want to be in a meditative state, but needing to burn off physical energy. So I think of chop wood, carry water, doing mundane tasks, cleaning your house, working in the garden. That is a great way to expend that energy. Also, so if your feet or your lower back hurt, anytime, any time of the year, it's a good indication that your lymphatic system is blocked up. So pay attention. And, Virgo season is so good for really taking care of the feet because it's the opposite of Pisces, which rules the feet. So, every night when you're going to bed, maybe give yourself a little foot massage with some nice cream and get yourself a pedicure, do it yourself. Make sure that you have a nice pumice stone and use that every time you get out of the tub so that your feet are nice and smooth. See, September 11th, it's a great herbalist moon in Capricorn, sun in Virgo. Um, this is where the vomit moon came in that I had asked about. It's a great time, September 11th through the 14th, for healing, for taking herbs, for making tinctures, for harvesting. September 11th through the 15th, Mars is going to trigger the eclipse that occurred in Libra back March 25th. So anybody with Libra, Cancer, Aries, Capricorn, there's anger and accident alerts. September 23rd is another bipolar mental health type of day. People that are filled with anxiety, depression, and over mental stimulation. September 17th, this is huge because we have a full moon and a lunar eclipse. Uh, there's a suicide alert for that full moon and lunar eclipse. So I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to show you the slide. Upper chest, oh, I'm sorry, upper intestines and organs. Mononucleosis is indicated. COVID is indicated with this lunar eclipse, enlarged spleens, lymphatic system issues, suicide watch. Seaweed's good for the pancreas, papaya, golden seal, black cumin seed oil, also known as nigella. Pancreatic issues. Pancreatic issues cropping up maybe in people that have Virgo, Pisces, Cancer prominent in their charts. If you come down with a cough during this whole time from now till the end of the year, be really cautious because it could be COVID or something worse that gets into something worse. September 24th, you may be inclined to want to stay away from people. It's definitely a very mental illness type of day. All mental illnesses are indicated. The moon is in Gemini. Beware of spiritual attachments. You could be having spiritual ghost encounters. The moon is squaring Neptune and it's quincunxing Pluto, and it could be creating paranoia. There could also be, with Mercury trining Uranus, a, a psychic flood information coming in. I think that's really all I have. I don't want to keep this too long. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. I think this is going to be like a 2-hour video. I had a lot to say this month. So here we have our new moon in Virgo on September 2nd. You'll see here it's at 11 degrees, 4 minutes. I have up here previous lunar eclipse that occurred in Libra at 5 degrees. I did indicate that we're going to have a trigger with Mars to that pretty soon. This was the previous eclipse at 19 Aries, last full moon, the last new moon that happened. Then here's that full moon with the eclipse that's happening. We have the, where did my mouse go? Oh, there we go. So we have a full moon in Pisces, Virgo at 25 degrees, 40 minutes. And this lunar eclipse is right on that moon. So anyone, we're all going to be affected. I do have a slide coming up that will talk about that. And it's sandwiched right in between the last previous full moon and the previous big eclipse that we had. So what could that mean? I'm going to pop back. So here is a slide just showing you the upcoming eclipses. We have 3 coming. This last one on October 17th is an almost eclipse. It's not quite, so you won't be able to see that if you look up, looking up eclipses, but it's almost an eclipse. And the next eclipse coming up, it's a lunar partial north node eclipse, 25 Pisces. So north node eclipses bring a power surge into that sign and natal house that they occur in. So you want to look in your chart. Where do you have Pisces? What house is that in? That's where this power surge is going to happen. Um, or regarding specific affairs and significations that are governed by your natal or transit planets that it's making an aspect to. The solar south node eclipse, which will happen on October 2nd, that brings a power outage. So where the lunar north node eclipse brings a power surge, the solar south node eclipse brings a power outage or a release into that sign and natal house that they occur in. There are often deaths and endings and goodbyes during that time. Both of these influences can be either positive or negative, strong or weak, depending on many other factors. The effects of this can last 1 year or more, especially if it's a total eclipse, and are triggered when various transits line up over the degree with hard aspects or quincunxes. So we have a partial and then an annular eclipse. They're not total, but this one in April that we just had, that was a total eclipse. The effects of this are going to last a long time. Now this says, oh, that was the time. Okay. Yeah, it was 19. That was extremely powerful. That can last up to 18 months. All right, so my tea for the rest of this season, if you can, get some calendula tea in your arsenal because it is fantastic for everything. If there's just one tea that you can keep in your cupboard, this is the tea. Now, I love Buddha tea brands. They're easy to get at my local health food store or through Amazon. And just to give you a little breakdown, calendula tea, it's anti-inflammatory, it's antioxidant, digestive health, immune support, skin health, menstrual health, and for relaxation and sleep. So you can take a screenshot of this, or you can just look it up. But the anti-inflammatory properties, amazing. The antioxidant effects, which help to kill free radicals in your body, the immune support, the digestive health. This is going to be really great for all of the aspects that I just spoke about with the upcoming astrology. I think that's it. That's all I have. Finally, right? I'm finished. Once again, tea. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is also with it being, cold and flu season coming up. I like to keep a little vial of thieves essential oils. Um, it has a bunch of different herbal extracts, cloves, cinnamon, thyme, rosemary. You can make a tea with that. Steep it, drink it, antibacterial, antiviral. But if I feel like I'm starting to come down with something, I'll put a drop or two of thieves into my tea and it knocks it out. My family calls it the witch's brew when they feel like they're coming down with something. Get a call or a text saying, "Hey, can you make a pot of that witch's brew for us? We're not feeling so good." But yeah, you could just take regular herbs, oregano, thyme, rosemary are three really great herbs, and some cloves if you have it, and cinnamon, and steep it. If you have a strainer, put it in there, steep it in hot water for 5 minutes, strain that out and drink it. It's so healthy for you. Also eating plenty of garlic. really great for your blood and your immune system. I've got all the tips and tricks. So anyway, happy September. Um, yeah, so happy to be back. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you soon.